everybody, welcome. Today we're going to talk Christmas and everything Christmas. Christmas books that we read, that we think you should read, and gifts, things we think you should give. This is Best in Show Books. I'm Gina.
And I'm Shelby.
And we know reading is better with friends, so welcome. We're at Naughty Dog Books, an independent bookstore here in Nashville, Indiana, and we're going to go behind the scenes, away from the desk today. We're like correspondents. We're going to travel the world of bookstore. As you can tell, maybe, we're at the front of the store. This is right in front of our True Crime Vault. This main table is where we display what is happening right now. And right now, it's Christmas. So we have this beautiful display of Christmas books, Christmas Advent, Christmas children's. We have some mystery, we've got some historical fiction, and we've got some fantasy. First book we're going to talk about is Christmas with the Queen. And this is a beautiful book. This was our book club's favorite book last year. And I say for 2025 because we read it at Christmas, but we actually discussed it in January. This is so good. This is by Hazel Gaynor and Heather Webb. They write together on this one. This is set in the 50s, and this is about the time when the fog was really bad in London and everybody was having to leave the country outside of the city to go to the country. And this is when the Queen was doing her Christmas broadcasts by radio and switching over to television. It is an amazing story. It was beautifully told. There's a little bit of romance, a lot of history. Highly recommend. A very cozy read. Perfect for tea around the fireplace.
One of my favorite things to get for birthdays, holidays, whatever, treating myself, is a crossword book. And I know the puzzle lovers in your life will also be excited to get all I want for Christmas is crosswords, because that's the truth. That's all we want for Christmas.
All right, we are going to give you a few of our Christmas TBRs, some things that are on our list that we want to read this season. And the first one is a murder mystery of sorts. This one was almost a book club pick, and we went with a different one, which I'll share here in a second. This is You Better Watch Out, and it has a couple of different authors on here. It's in this vein of a campy B movie that's a horror B movie, and it's slasher, it's got some humor. It's got all the things you would never think would be in a Christmas book. And we're going to read it. The second one. This is the one that we did end up picking for our mystery book club. It's 25 days. It is a mystery advent, as in each chapter is another bit of the same story, one mystery, and each chapter at the end gives you a clue as to what's happening, who done it, what's going on. Everybody so far from our book club that's been reading this, we've been chatting back and forth and is loving it. Some people are not sticking to the one chapter a day like you're supposed to.
I have another Christmas pick for you. This is The Afterlife of Holly Chase, and this was our Fantasy Book Club's pick last December, and it's technically young adult, so don't leave on that, because when it got picked, I'm not a young adult reader, so I was like, I don't know about this, but it was so good, and the club loved it, and even Gina, behind the camera, you've read it, right? Yeah. So, The Afterlife of Holly Chase. Holly is a Scrooge in real life. She is a brat, she's a punk, and she ends up dying, and she finds herself working at this company, and it's called Project Scrooge, wherein every Christmas, all of these people who are dead, are not dead, it's like a weird kind of thing, obviously, and she is the ghost of Christmas past, and she is the one who comes to people to try and say, like, change, this is your last chance. And Holly meets someone, the new Scrooge, and the new Scrooge might just be enough to change her ways, maybe not. It was really good. It was so light. It was, you can kind of tell it's young adult. You know, she's like 17 or 18 maybe, so she kind of has teenage things on the brain, but it was a really fun, quick Christmas read that we love to recommend to people in store.
All right, so we have a couple more here. They may or may not have been on this year's TBR, but they have been on the past TBRs and read. Of course, The Christmas Story, and this is by Jean Shepherd. Most of you probably know this as a movie, Don't Shoot Your Eye Out, Kid. Of course, The BB Gun, it's classic. But it was a shorter story within a larger book by Jean Shepherd, and I believe it was In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash is the name of the larger book, and this was a short story out of it. And now they've got it in a simple, small version. So you can read about the bunny rabbit and the Don't Shoot Your Eye Out, Kid. The next one we have is the best Christmas pageant ever. This book is by Barbara Robinson, is one of the most charming stories you will ever read. I kid you not. It's probably considered a kid's book, but laugh out loud humor. So sweet. The heart in this book, the true meaning of Christmas. They made it into a movie, and the movie does a great job with this book. It's an entire family read, and read it more than once. You're going to love it. Don't forget the Kleenex. Another tearjerker, I'm sorry, is The Man Who Invented Christmas. This is how Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol, and it's by Les Standiford. There we go. This book also has a movie tie-in. This was so charming. It is the story of how Dickens needed a story to revive his career. He was starting to become unpopular back in the day. He wasn't writing anything that he felt was worthy. And he meets somebody along the way that gives him these story ideas. And when the story becomes a hit, you get to see it around his family. It's just beautiful. I can't say enough good things about it. If you like Dickens, if you like Christmas Carol, if you've seen the movie, read the book. If you've read the book, see the movie.
Okay, I have a few recommendations for you. Actually, I have two. One I have read, the other I have not. So the other is just a blanket recommendation. But they are anthologies, and I feel like this is the perfect time of year for anthologies. Like Gina and I have talked about in some of our previous videos, it's really easy, and I'm sure as you know, to get bogged down with what you're reading and just to feel like you have so many things to read that you want to read, but just take so much time. And so short story anthologies collections are a great solution to that problem. And this time of year, Christmas and Other Horrors, edited by Ellen Datlow, but with a ton of authors. If you read horror or like your stories a little darker, you're going to recognize some of these names, including Alma Katsu, who I love, Stephen Graham Jones, Cassandra Caw, Josh Mallerman, Christopher Golden. I have really enjoyed this collection. Some stories you're going to like better than others if you're a spooky fan, like I am. And what it does is it focuses on like winter solstice. And so some of these stories take place at different locations across the globe and how they celebrate Christmas, how they celebrate winter solstice, their different traditions and different kind of spooky things. So it's very much not your jolly Santa Claus type of story. Think Krampus and things like that. So this was really fun. If you like spooky things, or if you have someone in your life who is a bookworm and loves spooky things, this is probably going to be a good gift for them. And then I have one more anthology recommendation, and it's hefty. The Big Book of Christmas Mysteries. This is by Otto Penzler, and this is a great gift for any mystery lover on your Christmas list. It's probably a touch too big to fit in their stocking. You could cram it in there, but it's got short stories in there by people like Mary Higgins Clark, Ellery Queen, Agatha Christie, with some more modern authors included in there. And so it's got Victorian tales. It has a few contemporary stories, but they range the gamut from suspenseful to festive to funny to pensive. This is one that I am looking forward to digging into throughout the season, just a little story here or there. And I bet the mystery lovers on your Christmas list will enjoy it too.
So we now have something for the little one or the little one at heart in your family that needs a book this Christmas. I don't know about you guys, but I love Christmas books for kids, even though I am obviously not a kid anymore. So Charlie Brown Christmas by Charles M. Schultz. Who doesn't love this? Who doesn't love the TV show and the special every year? But I mean, look at these beautiful drawings and illustrations. And in the back, there's a little special something. So Christmas is here. Let's have Linus tell us all about it. All right, we have a little bit more on the extra today for this video around the store, and it's an Advent. This one is Behold the Lamb of God Has Come by Trillia Newbell. It has a little of everything. There's hymns and psalms and reflections, even recipes in here to help you along in your Advent season to reflect on family and God and the meaning of the season.
Another book that I wanted to show you guys is one of my favorites for the Christmas season. It's Little Christmas Carol, and it's a children's reimagining of obviously Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol, and it is so sweet. One of my favorite books that we have at home is actually Little Pilgrim's Progress by this same author illustrator, and that is a children's reimagining of Pilgrim's Progress. And so we love that at home, and the kids are always like, why do you cry so much when you read that? But Little Christmas Carol is different. We're going to read this at home this year, and I will not be crying. I hope, knock on wood. So I want to show you a couple of these illustrations. Arthur, get out of the way. I love the illustrations in these books. They're black and white, and the characters are reimagined as animals. So they're just very simple, but I think they're very moving.
Oh, that's so adorable.
Yeah, and I really love all of his illustrations, and I think they're just great to accompany these books. And the Christmas Carol, I think, no matter your age, is a great story with lots of lessons for loneliness, compassion, joy, greed. So this is one that I love personally, and I love recommending to customers here in the store.
Thank you for making the journey through the store with us as we do some of our favorite Christmas books, Christmas gifts, and then you can see what the store looks like as it's decorated for the holiday. We appreciate you taking the journey with us, and we love chatting all things books because
reading is better with friends.
Always. This is Best in Show Books.
She's Gina.
I am. Not Shelby. Merry Christmas.